Good morning and welcome to the Mid-Morning Park today. It is the 19th day of December, the year 2023. We are remaining with just a few days to be able to finalize the year 2023 as we welcome the year 2024. How is the year taking you so far? I hope you are preparing yourself very well to be able to welcome a new year here at MBCI Radio. We're just wishing you a very good ending of the year 2023. And as usual on Tuesday, we have what we call the Legal Tuesday, whereby we handle the issue of legal matters. And today we are talking about alternative justice system in our Republic of Kenya. And today we are honored to have Honorable Daisy Mose, who is a magistrate, Molo Law Court, who is in the studio with us here to help us to dig deep on this matter of alternative justice system, and also to be able to help you to understand what is this that we call alternative justice system. Welcome about. If you have any question to our magistrate today, our usual SMS number 23814 0721 105 105 is our WhatsApp SMS number. SMS number 23814 for WhatsApp side 0721 105 105. And today we are asking you one question. Have you ever participated in alternative justice system? Have you ever participated in an alternative justice system? 23814 and 0721 105 105 are our good SMS number. As usual, I have my colleague in the studio, Mangicho Mola. Mangicho, good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, Paul Kagi, and it's good to see you.
Yes. I'm
happy that you're doing well. Of course, this being our very last legal Tuesday for this year 2023.
Yes.
And of course, we are finishing it in style, looking at this particular matter that is very important, very critical subject, especially in the corridors of justice, that is alternative justice system.
Yes, and of course we have agreed that by the end of this year, Mangicho,
yes,
we need to be very knowledgeable on legal matters.
Sure.
And maybe by the year 2024, we need to start calling ourselves my learned friend.
My learned friends, we assumed this particular name.
Yes.
That's very important. And so far, it's been a good program, actually, providing a lot of education, a lot of information to thousands of our viewers across the country. And now they are in a position to know what is it that needs to be done whenever maybe they are confronted with a matter that needs justice or needs the legal perspectives to actually be looked into. So, so far, so good. And you're looking also forward to a very fruitful year 2024, Kagi.
Right. And without much ado, I want to welcome Honorable Daisy Mose. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning,
Kagi
and Mangicho.
Yes.
Yes.
How is the year taking you so far?
The year has been good. It's been a blessed year. I'm happy to be able to see the last few days of this year.
Yeah, okay.
And God has been good.
Wow.
Yes.
How is it like serving the people of Molo?
It's a great pleasure serving the people of Molo with the institution I work with, and I've been there for about a year now, and it's been a wonderful year.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Karibu sana. And today I know we are talking about the alternative justice system, but before we go too far, we are heading to festivities, the Christmas and New Year, and I know that in your desk you have received a lot of complaints, a lot of cases regarding to people who are mismanaging our roads, our vehicles. Maybe in a nutshell, how would you tell our people who are traveling up and down, especially our motorists?
I would advise them to follow the traffic code, ensure they do not use the climbing lanes wrongly. I know many people like to overtake on climbing lanes because there's a lane that appears to be free, but most of the time there is someone who's about to overtake a vehicle that is on that climbing lane, and accidents have happened, especially here in Nakuru on the Ngata stretch, particularly the Ngata stretch, because of that miscalculation. So we ask drivers to observe lane discipline, speed also. There are places where they are asked to to use a certain speed. They are marked on the roads. They need to watch out for those and to follow those regulations. Also, I know it's the festive season. People would like to go home, and some are overloading, some are removing their cars that have not been serviced for the whole year. They should make sure that the vehicles are roadworthy before they take them out to the road, and they have all the licenses that are needed.
Yes,
including the drivers. Then they should also not overwork. Because some have fallen asleep and caused accidents because of getting tired. They need to take sufficient rest. They should not be greedy to make money in this festive season. They should take care of lives.
Very true.
And above all else, I want to ask drivers to drive defensively. As they obey traffic rules and directions by the traffic police.
Yes. So much on the drivers. What about the commuters, passengers?
Commuters, just make sure that you board the right vehicles and call out the driver if he's overspeeding. Speak. There are lines that have been given by the NTSA for complaints or anything. They should not just keep quiet.
Yeah. Yesterday I was watching one of the news following an accident which was happening, I don't know where, and that car lost the father and the son, and one son was saved alive. And that boy was saying that they were calling, as we were saying, they were calling on the driver to stop over speeding, and maybe he ignored them. They didn't have anything else to tell him, but he was over speeding. They were calling upon him not to overspeed, but after a few kilometers the accident happened. He veered off the road.
Sure. It's quite unfortunate that
it's very sad.
These things actually come during these particular times, and everybody wants the best for a season like this. So I think, just like our guest is saying, it's important for each and everyone to be fully responsible.
And if they like that, the people who are in that vehicle, I think there are some numbers that have been given, or even sometimes the way you reach out to that driver to tell him to slow down.
Yes.
And there are lots of traffic points along the road. And their vehicles are normally stopped. If you can just put your hand even through out the window and beckon the police, you know, and tell them this guy is driving fast, too fast for us. I think just do anything. Don't just let things happen like that. There must be lines also. We look out for them. You can call out for to the police for assistance. NTSA, yes, there should be. I haven't armed myself with the numbers right now, but they can be found even. Hotlines. Yes, there must be hotlines.
And Kage, maybe even before we come to our area of discussion, because maybe our magistrate can also help us. How is it like when the culprits of these offences are brought to court?
Quite a number are brought to court and are charged with the offences of speeding, causing accidents, careless driving. They are normally charged in court, and most of the time, because they are on transit, we have one or two challenges bringing witnesses to come and testify. If you are a witness in a case like that, I want to encourage them to be willing to come out. But most of the time, police have them, and they come and they say we committed the offense, and they are fined or jailed, depending on the nature of the offense, traffic offense, because there are various traffic offenses.
Yeah. Before Mangicho take us through the topic, just one more thing. In your desk, maybe what are some of the major traffic offenses that you observe every day? And number two, what is the most ignored traffic rules, or maybe people ignore without knowing to take them to court?
Yeah, the one they ignore without knowing it will take them to court are those speed limits. Number one, speed limits. There are areas where it's marked 50, not beyond 50. So it's marked 50. Yes. Then you reach another point, you'll see 50 and the crossing. That's the end of that limit. Yeah. And the normal limit for vehicles, small vehicles, is 100 kilometers. So some people, when their vehicle, they are going down a slope and it's very nice to drive, they go up to 110, 120, 140.
The limit for the small vehicles is 110.
110. I think 110 or something. Yes, somewhere there. And there are places where you should not exceed 100.
Yes.
So they need to take note of that and be cautious. They should not allow the vehicle to take them very fast. And then now licensing.
Yes.
People forget that their renewal date is due and it passes them. They forget insurance also. You need to keep tabs with renewing your insurance, because should you have a mishap when your insurance is not renewed, you will not be compensated. And then sometimes people think it's for the traffic police, and they believe that obeying traffic rules is just for the sake of being right with the traffic police. It's just for their safety, for their safety and well-being on the road. Even the belting is another one, but you need to belt up in the vehicle. In case of anything, the injuries will not be as severe as they would be if you had not belted. Even your life might be saved for making sure you are belted up in a vehicle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so whichever vehicle you're using, especially for PSV, make sure the belts work, and that is part of taking care of yourself, not taking care of the police.
Great.
Yes.
All right. And I hope, dear viewer, you have heard from the magistrate herself that you should be careful when you are using any road, whether you are a driver or a passenger. Now you have heard it for yourself. Today we are having Honorable Daisy Mose, who is a magistrate at the Molo Law Courts, and today we are talking about alternative justice system. Have you ever participated in any alternative justice system? Talk to us, 23814 0721 105 105, our WhatsApp number.
Exactly, and that is so good. Karibu sana, our guest on Magistrate Daisy. And of course, I know this is a subject that has been in the public limelight. It has been in the public domain for quite some time, gaining a lot of popularity in the country. But I think we still have challenges with quite a number of our people not yet conceptualizing or being in a position to really understand what it entails. How can one maybe benefit from it? So maybe even as you take us to a brief background of how this actually came to be, you can give us a context of what we mean when we talk about alternative justice system.
Okay, alternative justice systems, I think, have been in place for quite a long time. When we lived in our traditional setups, we had ways of resolving issues, resolving conflicts in the community. There were elders in the village, there were even priests, and even now we still have people who still resolve disputes but are not in the judiciary, because the one institution that is mandated with the resolution of conflicts by the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is the judiciary. And in Article 159 2C, the judiciary is mandated to promote alternative justice systems. These are the courts, the traditional courts, not the real, like in the way you go to the village and say we establish a traditional elders court like this, but there are institutions that are in place, like the care, in Lowland, the Jurincheke, and in various communities they have those elders. Yes. Northeastern also has a community of elders who resolve disputes. So one thing I would like to say is that when the Honorable former Chief Justice Dr. William Tunga came into office, he established a task force to look into the alternative justice systems. And they came up with the guidelines, policy guidelines and a framework, and in certain places like Isiolo, Nakuru, I think Kisumu and Nairobi, there has been established AJS suits. There are people who are members, elders, and in this case where the elders are not the old people but young people, various categories of persons who are wise and who understand what is happening in the community have been brought together. So even in Nakuru there is a team of AJS members at the Nakuru locals, and there is a secretariat or a registry for AJS. So what they did is to just formalize what has been there, but bring it now under the auspices of the judiciary. And so these are not strange things that happen, because even the penal code in the initial as it is, even the criminal procedure code, even the civil procedure code, these are the laws of Kenya that govern how we do cases. Some of them that I've just mentioned have provisions for negotiation, for reconciliation, for forgiving people if they have wronged you. So for this AJS, it's just a formal place for people to be able to be assisted when they are trying to reconcile with cases in the judiciary. For example, if there is a succession cause, now the family members are pulling in different directions. The case is taking so long to resolve. Then normally anyone, even the court, can say, well, I wish to refer this matter for AJS. There you find elders who will talk to them and resolve issues of, say, the traditional way of inheritance. Maybe the men are not happy to have the sisters inherit, and they can sit together and they can discuss the fact that there is a new succession cause that is not discriminatory against women and girls, and that they can talk and agree on the way forward so that this succession matter can be brought to an end. And several have come to an end. Yes, that have been protracted for a long time, because our court system, the system is adversarial.
Meaning what?
Adversarial. We are adversaries. You are the plaintiff or the petitioner.
Yes.
He is the respondent or the defendant. Na mnashindana. Na mwenye atashinda yeye ndio anabeba hiyo kesi. Mimi ameenda na ushindi, wewe unabaki na huzuni.
Is it a matter of
na kusononeka ameshindwa?
The winner takes it all.
Yeah, it's like that, like the winner takes it all. Yes. But the alternative justice systems that include many others that are even established in the judiciary, like I want to just mention it. It might be a little bit apart from it, but it forms part of it. Mediation. Yeah, where you have a mediator. You have a case already filed in the court. It has a number. It has even gone for one direction or another in court, and the parties wish to refer it for mediation. There is court annexed mediation. So you can a party can ask that they be referred to a mediator. And a mediator will sit with them and find common interests between the parties, and they can reach an agreement on how to resolve that issue, and they can resolve it amicably. Then they enter an agreement, a written agreement, and they bring it to court for adoption, and that is the judgment now.
So this mediation, the mediators, they are falling between the legal system and the alternative justice system?
No, it is an alternative justice. It's one of those. It is one of those, but now in the judiciary that is more defined. And now we are coming up with the generalized one that has elders and other people. See, the mediator is a professional. An arbitrator is a professional. But the members of AJS are people who understand how to listen to and resolve conflicts. Maybe they are elders, maybe ni wazee wa nyumba kumi, maybe ni chiefs, pastors, bishops, apostles. In there are those people. Even the very same mediators and the other people can form part of AJS. And so when a matter is referred to them, it's just that they'll give a formal solution, and that can be adopted by the courts.
Before you continue, just one more question, which is it's disturbing my mind about the sitting of the AJS. Do they sit at the court premises, or they go to under the tree?
No, you sit in the court premises, because it has to be regulated. So I was telling you, it is not established throughout the country. But in certain places, like I was saying, the model is in Isiolo, where they have cases, and it is annexed to the court. It is within the court premises.
Okay.
We have in Nairobi, it's within the court premises, called the AJS suites.
Oh, AJS suites.
Yes.
Okay.
They have a courtroom, they have an officer in charge who has a register for the matters that will be referred for AJS, and then there are members who will be convened, or a panel will be convened whenever necessary. So there are several people in Nakuru who are part of the AJS team. From when I was, before I left Nakuru, I knew of its existence, and I can comment on it because we are supposed to know things. We are even told by the Bible in the Isaiah chapter 6, verse 4 to 4:6, that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
So we need to know. We need to know things. So when it is referred by the court, it is already a case. If it's a criminal case, it's criminal case number this and this and this, and the parties are the state and Kamau, somebody, Karori or someone. And maybe the complainant is there, and so they are referred together. When there's a resolution by the AJS, it is now communicated to the court, and it will be entered in that file.
So the ruling of the AJS is communicated to the court?
Yes.
Okay.
The file, the decision is communicated to the court. If it's a reconciliation, then there is sections of the law that support that kind of reconciliation. So if they have reconciled and the complainant wants to forgive, they can apply maybe section 204.
Okay.
And the part of the Criminal Procedure Code, which says the complainant can forgive and withdraw a case. And in that case, the withdrawal will act as an acquittal. Yani, amepatikana bila kosa. Amemsamehe, na kwa hivyo as the court, we don't convict him and he's been forgiven by the person who he wronged. So it promotes harmony in the society, as opposed to maybe following the case through and then that person is punished, is given a jail term. When he leaves, for most people, maybe they'll have a bitterness, they'll be annoyed, with their neighbor or their brother who took them to court. But this AJS will promote reconciliation and a harmonious coexistence among people, because there's nowhere they will move.
So they cannot recommend someone to be jailed?
No, they cannot recommend someone to be jailed. To be jailed is maybe you follow through the criminal system, or he himself, the person who's been charged, admits that I did wrong. Yes.
And maybe Kagi, even as we continue getting some of these information that are very vital, because on this you talked about maybe the cases, and someone who is watching us maybe would want to know, is it open for every kind of offense, every kind of case can actually be applied in the alternative justice system, or is quite limited?
Almost every kind of case. Right. Almost. Okay, I told you, like under AJS there are several other. The constitution in that section, in that article I mentioned, talks about promoting mediation, reconciliation, and other alternative justice systems. So, for example, in Northeastern, if someone killed someone, they would sit together and hear the situation, and then they will order for compensation, maybe a number of camels for the person who was killed. In the penal code, a person who has killed somebody may be charged with either murder or manslaughter. I will explain, but let me say what will happen. There is a prescribed sentence for murder, which is death. So if we go through our normal justice system, there's a father who has been killed, he has children who depend on him, but the murderer will be sent to prison. So eventually, maybe when we get an executioner, he'll be hanged, and there is nothing that comes back to the children of this one who was killed. But in the alternative justice system that they have established in a place like Isiolo, they can sit they can sit and say this person is family. Let them compensate this other family.
Before you continue, I'm being informed that we need to take a short break.
Yes.
And then when we come back, we are going to dig deep on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for watching MBCI TV, The Legal Tuesday. Today we're talking about the alternative justice system with Honorable Daisy Mose, Magistrate Molo Law Courts. This juncture, we take a short break. We'll be right back after this.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Fabulous and affordable. Who doesn't love that? Victory Furniture, full of style, comfort and fantastic look, ensures your home and office is exquisite. Homely. Magnificent. Tranquil. Alluring. Elegance and grand. Discover a unique sense of style for both ladies and men at our boutique, guaranteeing you to stand out in every season. Visit our branches today and experience the joy of a fabulous and affordable lifestyle with Christmas discounts of up to 50%. Nakuru branch at Vicmac Plaza, Nakuru Victory Mall, Kiambu Road, Theatre City Mall, Eldoret Rupa Mall, Meru Greenwood Mall. For more information, call us today on 0729 856 762 or check us on Instagram and Facebook. Victory Furniture, where style meets comfort.
Are you dreaming of being at the top? Your journey starts at Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies, a world-class training institution equipped with modern state-of-the-art facilities covering a wide range of courses in engineering, health science, information technology, hospitality, fashion design and garment making, among many more. Graduates from RVIPs are taught to be hands-on, innovative and problem-solving citizens, better fitted for the 21st century, dynamically evolving job market. And so, be part of a bright future. Register for January 2024 intake by visiting our campuses located near Railways Police Station or at Biashara Center, 3rd floor, Nakuru City. Reach us on our website by clicking www.join.rvibs.ac.ke. Call us on 0715 111 101.
My name is Pasi Kihumba, the Principal of Rift Valley Institute of Business Studies. I take this opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas and a blessed 2024. Welcome and looking forward to training with you.
RVIPs, for all your technical training needs.
Peace be with you. At Amara Realty, we believe in providing you with peace of mind. That's exactly what our latest project, Shalom Gardens Phase 2, aims to offer.
Located in the heart of Joskandovoine, this is an area with all social amenities you could possibly need and think of already here, just for you.
And that is not all. Invest in a project that is value added with the modern gates, as you can see on ground. We've also graded the roads for you, and we have electric fencing for your security. And at Amara Realty, size matters. Get yourself a 1/4 acre for only the price of 1.4 million.
Shalom Gardens Phase 2 is not just a piece of land, it's your peace of mind.
Amara Realty, for your peace of mind.
We We believe in the extraordinary potential of every child. That is why at Greengate Academy, our aim is to equip and transform learners. Our mission is to provide high-quality education in a conducive Christian environment.
Jesus in the heart.
Jesus in the heart.
Jesus in the
We
heart.
have embraced the competency-based curriculum and have collaborated with our dedicated team of experienced educators to mine your child's potential by imparting them with relevant skills. We have incorporated a special needs program that is tailored to ensure continuous improvement for your child. Here, we encourage creativity by engaging them in co-curriculum activities like sports, games, and maximizing on digital literacy through innovation. We are keen on your child's health, thus providing nutritious meals. Transport-wise, we've got you covered. Discover the unlimited opportunities awaiting your child today. Contact us on 0702 730 987 or email us on greengateschools@gmail.com. Enroll your child today and let their journey of a lifetime begin. Greengate Academy, raising the standard.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Right, welcome back to the Legal Tuesday, dear viewer, wherever you are. And today we are talking about alternative justice system, and we are having in the studio Honorable Daisy Mose, who is a magistrate, Molo Law Courts, and we are asking you one question: have you ever settled any matter in an alternative justice system? Talk to us. 23814 is our SMS number, and then WhatsApp number 0721 105 105. My name is Paul Card with my colleague Mangichu Mola. And Honorable Daisy, maybe to pick up from where you stopped and then we continue.
Okay, I was explaining that in certain jurisdictions there have been cases like the resolution of a murder case.
Yes.
Using alternative justice system by asking the culprit or his family to compensate the family of the person who has passed away, and so it is more helpful, and it helps the family to have that alternative the matter resolved by way of alternative justice systems, because there will be something that will remain with the family to remember their departed one. And also to provide for children, even if they had children, several camels are paid, they can sell them, they can multiply, and so it doesn't just die like that. And then there would be harmony in the community. As opposed to if just the normal way is followed, the penal code, and once the person is found guilty, he is sentenced to die, you know. And his family and his children will also be supported maybe by the community. And so it has really helped. I also want to mention the small ones, small cases, like for example, theft. A neighbor steals from another neighbor.
A chicken.
Chickens.
Some goats.
Goats. And the punishment for stealing is imprisonment for 7 years and above, or at least 7 years. You know, one thing we don't understand, and I want to explain today, is that when an offense is committed, it is not the size of the item that was stolen that matters. Because if that person had the opportunity to steal something bigger, would have stolen. So what normally happens when you have an offense committed, there is something in law we call the act. The Latin call it actus reus. The act of the taking of something. When you have taken something belonging to someone, and then the intention There's the taking, and then there's the intention. If you take it with the intention, we call the intention mens rea, yes. the state of the mind, and what was directing you to do whatever you did. You take the thing with the intention of permanently depriving the owner of that item. That is theft. That is stealing.
Hey, this is very interesting,
yes.
Legal terminology.
Yes.
So we have mens rea, we have taking and the intention.
Yeah, the intention has to connect with the
yes.
action. Yes, so that that informs you that there are offences called attempted this and attempted this. Yes. So attempted murder is the person who had intention to kill this person. Yes. It was malicious. He had malice in his mind. He has malice aforethought. He thought and contemplated and planned to kill this person. And that is what becomes murder.
And there is a way to prove that in a court of law.
Yes, there's a way. You must prove the state of mind. Yeah, maybe
the burden is now
on the prosecution.
On the prosecution.
Yes, on the prosecution to prove what the intention, to prove that intention and connect it with the action. And sometimes that murder is not committed; it is attempted, and you can prove the intention. You are done. That person is done. The wrong starts in the mind.
And you're able to identify the intention of the mind.
Yeah, by what happens around.
The circumstances.
Yes, the circumstances. Okay. You call it circumstantial evidence. So you can connect that thought in the person's mind. For example, even in say a real murder, someone has shot a person 10 times. If you shot once, maybe they'd say it was a stray bullet. But 10 times, you really had the intention of
to finish doing that.
Or someone hacking another one severally in the head or in the chest. Yeah, you have an intention. So on the flip side, where there is no intention and someone is killed, it is called manslaughter. It's killing without intending. It could be in self-defense, in a moment of provocation. So if someone, or self-defense, somebody else wants to stab you, and you react, maybe push him against a wall, he hits his head, and gets hurt. Yes, you can see that person did not go looking for this person and was not planning to kill him. That is called manslaughter, and it can have as little a sentence as 1 day or 2 days.
For manslaughter.
Yes, because it was without intention. Okay. In fact, do you know most of our laws come from the Bible? Yes, if you take your time and read Leviticus. No.
Leviticus.
Yes, in the book of Leviticus, there was instructions to someone there to build cities of refuge. And God told him, make sure the roads are good, so that if somebody unintentionally kills someone, he can flee to that city of refuge and stay there. And he should be fast enough not to be caught on the road, because there was someone called the blood avenger. The brother or relative would want to avenge for the blood of their relative. Yes. But if that person, until the case is done, actually, that's what God was saying, they will have to sit and do a case and establish whether that person actually planned to kill him or it just happened. I'm giving you homework to go and read your Bible.
So wherever this guy is running to is what you're calling to
safety. Yes, for safety. Maybe to court, to the police. That's where he stays as the case is being done until it is established that he actually murdered.
So we can have people who have actually been sentenced up to 7 years because of stealing.
Yes, a chicken.
A chicken.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, but I want.
And that is why it would be important for something like that now to be brought to AJS.
Yes, and then in AJS maybe you will be able to see, is your neighbor maybe is remorseful. He says, "I'll pay back the chicken," and paying back a chicken is not hard.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then he is helped also through the other systems that are there to reform, or if it was out of poverty, out of lack that he stole, then other systems in the community will be activated. Like the chief will be on board. They'll know this area kuna njaa, kuna watu hawana kazi.
Yes.
Then they would go to the called central government. If they have kazi kwa vijana, then maybe you'd recommend to take this guy for kazi kwa vijana so that he does not steal. You see, that is how the alternative justice system brings the other arms of government and agencies to play, and NGOs. Like Red Cross, maybe now the chief would reach out to Red Cross and say, in this area of mine, people are stealing, and because they are hungry, immediately bring some relief. You know, the times are hard. Tulete kila mtu package ya chakula ya Christmas wasiibe. So it brings together actors, other actors in the community to make the community a better place.
Great. Right. Maybe Kagi, before you come in, so Hondaisi, so where's the beginning point? Is it now the person who has made the offense to reach the one that has been offended? Where's the beginning point? Even now, before now, they come now maybe to the mediators, and even now maybe the court is informed.
Actually, let me just begin by saying most of the time AJS has been informal.
Informal.
It is informal. It has been informal, but recently they've structured it and they have made it formal in the court stations I have mentioned.
Yes.
So if you are in those court stations or even any other court station, you may ask, like as an accused person or the complainant or even the state, because the DPP recognizes AJS. You as an accused person can ask if your matter can be referred to AJS. And for purposes of accountability, in places where they have the AJS suits in place, the court will refer the file to that registry, and they will appoint the counsel. And after that counsel panel resolves a case, it will be noted and sent back to court, and the court will record it under the relevant law. Which is being withdrawn. They have discussed it, they've reached a resolution, they will withdraw the case, but when they go home, this person will compensate what he had stolen or will restitute. You know, there'll be a reconciliation, wamesikilizana tu na mwingine atasema hata sitaki kitu kutoka kwake, nimemsamehe na asirudie ama ahame.
Inatokea
ama ahame aenda akae pahali pengine.
So does it mean that we will have other parties from the beginning point with the two main parties, or maybe they will have gone to some steps, then now they can be able not to include the others?
Okay, the two parties can actually talk, but usually they would talk in the village with their relatives. And remember, in every case, there are witnesses. So maybe witnesses are their family members or their neighbors. So they will come and sit and talk and discuss the bigger problem.
Yes.
Not the offense. You know, an offense usually happens, and it can be identified as an offense, but the source are other offenses. For example, people might be having a boundary dispute for land. And this is a dispute already. But this day they come to resolve this boundary dispute, but each one comes armed with a panga. Then they come and after quarreling a little, they apply the panga on someone. That is an offense. You have cut up somebody. It's an assault. Assault, various degrees. Kama aliumia sana, it will be an offense called causing grievous harm. It is the general assault, just assault. Ameumia mahali kidogo, anatibiwa, anapona. Grievous harm ni pali mtu anakuwa hospitalized, anakuwa na surgery maybe, ama anapoteza mkono, ama anavunjika mguu, something more permanent in nature. So you see this, there's a dispute already over the boundary. Then now there is an offense. So this or someone has stolen or has taken something, ama ng'ombe ya mtu imeingia kwa shamba, and then amerudisha kwa huyu akagombana na yeye, wakapigana. See, this one offense leads to another. So in that council, that community now, or when they refer the matter to AJS, they'll be able to see the bigger picture and find a solution. If it is boundary, they will tell them go to the Environment and Land Court, or go to the land registrar, have the surveyor resurvey and demarcate your boundaries. They will have resolved the matter in the long term. Kama ni succession, ni brothers ndio wanagombania boundary, then they'll be asked if they are filed for succession, then they can go to court, file a succession cause to succeed the estate of their father, maybe have the property divided well, have a surveyor show the boundaries, and then everyone will settle without fighting the other. Yes.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's a bigger picture of AJS. If it is things like, there's some particular cases, like I would say defilement of children, no, those ones cannot be referred to AJS.
Okay.
So anything that is to do with, except for maintenance, family issues, they can also be referred to AJS.
And just one more before you come in. What of a situation whereby maybe this particular case had already been lodged maybe in the formal court proceeding?
These are cases that already... No, these are cases already lodged in the formal court process.
Okay.
Yes. And what the judiciary did when the Chief Justice formed this task force for AJS was to bring it under the auspices of the judiciary for purposes of accountability. Because the research that was done by that task force revealed that only 25% of cases get to the judiciary.
Only 25%?
Yes.
Where do the others go?
The others are resolved by AJS in the community. So there is already AJS in the community.
So it had already been taking place?
Yes.
And successful cases?
Yes, many. In fact, they cited some organizations, I will not say here many, but like there are people who have organized themselves to solve their issues, like the motorbike people, border operators. They have their rules, they have their way of doing things. If you commit an offense, is a way you are asked to compensate to something. There are offenses. They have set their own offenses, and they have set their boundaries. This is your stage. This is your stage. This is how we label your vehicle, your motorbike or something. So they've organized themselves. There are new organizations that apply alternative justice systems, and then there are old ones like the Council of Elders. Those are old ones, which would be good to bring them on board. They can help people resolve issues of burial, because people come to court and say, stop the burial of so-and-so. The night before the burial, the next day, people have incurred expenses, people have, emotions are bad, they are raw, but they'll come, and when you give an order like that, those people will be badly affected. But what are they coming to resolve? I know you are a station that is established on biblical principles, but you find a man probably had more than one wife, and dhambi tu kwa dunia. Okay, see dhambi kuwa na more than one wife, I don't know whether that is wrong, but he has this one who is not known by this other family. And on the day the person dies, these others who knew him come up and they want to be part of the funeral. You can refer it to Wazee. They knew how such things would be handled. They know if a man dies, he's buried in the house of the first wife, the cultural ones. So they will resolve. And how are children going to be accommodated? Are others going to be outcasts? They're going to be left out. They will not mourn their family member. Or in a case where someone has land and sold it, but it's not the transaction is not complete, or there is a dispute, but their relative has passed away, and that's the only place they can bury. Now, if on that day you come and this one is saying this is my land, this one is saying this is my land, and that community can sit together and agree, and when the case is brought to court, we can send it back and ask that the elders there tell us. Or they come to court. They'll come to court to the panel, and they will say as witnesses, but informally. In court there is a football, kuna rules. Here you speak, you finish, you are asked questions, then some more questions, and you are done. But here they will talk together, not one person.
One can interject.
Yes. And another one can interject. And they can find the real issue very fast, faster than if it was in court. So this is to remove, it helps remove backlog.
But there is no any chance once a ruling has been made, a sentence has been given, to come back to AJS?
Once a sentence has been given?
Yes, in a formal court proceeding.
There is. Okay, let's not say once a sentence has been given. We can say like this, there is, when a criminal case has been concluded, there is a space, a small space. A person there's a court can refer the case to the probation department for a social inquiry report. So you know, with social inquiry report, they will go to the village and make an inquiry about the background of this person, from his family, from the administration, from the complainant. At that point, I want to believe that what operates in that place informally is that AJS also, because the complainant can say, I have no issue with this person being given probation sentence. A probation sentence is cancelling a person while he's at home and to help that person reform. So you see, there is that involvement of others who are not in the case by the probation department when they are doing the social inquiry report, which is usually called pre-sentencing report.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm requesting for maybe 2 clarifications.
Yes.
Number 1, regarding to AJS, for the sake of confidentiality, is there a point whereby the court can decide not to refer a case to the AJS, especially for the issue of domestic differences? They decide that you can, court direct that you can go and resolve this matter domestically for the sake of confidentiality.
Okay, I want to clarify one issue. By the time a matter comes to court, it's not the levels of privacy are the ones we will just state for you. Maybe if you asked for the case to be heard without media coverage or away from many people,
yes,
like the courtroom, if it's a matter of a child or a family issue, and you want to give evidence that is a bit private, then we give directions. But for most family issues like child, in fact, this AJS, where it is being carried out is private. Actually, it's a courtroom, like a courtroom. It's an office of sorts.
All right.
So you don't go outside the court. It is within the court premises, and it is one case at a time. So there is no lack of privacy. Yeah, it is guaranteed that when you ask for a matter to be referred to AJS, or the court by its own motion refers it to AJS, there will be privacy. There will be privacy, and the parties will be helped to resolve those issues by the people who are in the panel. Yes.
One more clarification. What's the difference between the outside court settlement and the alternative justice system?
Out of court settlement can take various forms. People can go and negotiate by themselves. They can involve elders, and then they come back and say, we have settled this case and these are the terms of our settlement. Most of the time they call it consent in civil cases. And in criminal cases, they will come with directions that have always been in place, either withdrawal or using various of the provisions in the law, but mainly withdrawal, the one that makes a person to be held as acquitted. And then about AJS court, the one that is in court, in the courts that are operating with AJS, it's that it is a formal, it is recognized as an informal way of assisting the court conclude that case first. So it is, they will refer the matter and the file the same way they refer a mediation matter to mediation with a file. And then when that they open a file that is separate from the court file for AJS. Once they reach a resolution, the agreement or the settlement they find will be brought to court, and the court will adopt it.
So on outside of court settlement, again, the court will agree once the two parties have already have an agreement that they want to solve it, or maybe it has to be the two parties agreeing.
The two parties can agree on their own or with assistance.
Or with assistance.
Yeah, if they want to be assisted, they can tell the court, we want this matter to be referred to AJS, and the court will refer it to AJS.
Yeah.
And then they will negotiate, they will reconcile under AJS. But still open is the personal, the unregulated. But when they bring it to the prosecutor, say the complainant comes to the prosecutor and says, I want to forgive this person. We have talked at home. You will not be, being asked to promote alternative ways of justice by the Constitution was to ensure that cases are concluded faster and that there is an amicable resolution at the end of it, a harmonious coexistence with people in the community. Yes, because once you forgive somebody, even the Bible encourages us to forgive.
Sure.
When somebody wrongs you, you forgive, then you can restore your relationship.
Yes.
You can rebuild it.
But you said a case that is brought to AGS can take as short as?
It can take even a day.
Even a day.
Yes, because the sittings are informal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, we can have a case like
2 years.
Up to 2 years.
Yes, because one day one witness will come, another day that other witness will be sick, another day then the advocate will have an issue, and the case has to proceed with all the parties there. The prosecution, or the prosecutor is transferred, the magistrate is transferred, a judge is transferred.
A file has gone missing.
Sometimes they go missing, but these days they don't go missing. Maybe it's just misplaced.
Yes.
Yeah, that problem has been resolved.
Wow.
Yes.
What about the aspect of cost on Daisy? We know we've had a lot of people having challenges also maybe with their cases in court, especially because of the cost of incurring and moving maybe a particular case. How is it like for AJS?
Like we just said a short while ago, you can come for one day for the meeting and the matter is resolved. But in the other case where you come this day, the next day you'll spend money on the road, coming in the morning, you may spend money on a lawyer. Even lawyers can be involved in this AJS, so they are not locked out. But
what could be their role?
Even members of the panel, even. Yes.
Okay.
They
also give
are lawyers in the panel. Yes. Yes.
Advices.
They give advice. They give direction in their capacity as lawyers and even just as elders. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And from where you sit, Honorable, maybe what are some of the major loopholes that you have identified in AJS that need to be relooked at?
Maybe I could call them challenges. Challenges is like right now people don't know about it. People don't know it exists, and so they cannot ask formally for their matter to be referred to.
AJS.
That's recognition. The other thing is the funding. The panelists are volunteers. They are people who work in different agencies and they volunteer to come in to help with the resolution of cases. So it's funding. There was funding for that particular for AJS to be institutionalized in the court. Then every other court will have that particular office that can help, because it's not like removing the case from court. It's just like providing another avenue for it to be speedily resolved with information that may not be formally accepted in court, or in a way that attracts people. People like informal things.
Yes.
Sometimes they are afraid of court. There are several other issues, like we have moved from the traditional setup.
Yeah.
And most people think that those all traditional ways of resolving conflict are bad or outdated. But if we could be able to put aside the good things, we can leave the old ones, the bad ones. You know, of course, in every system, there are bad things. There are bad ways of doing things. Also, the other setback is that most of those councils of elders do not recognize women mainly, and girls, and so they end up being discriminated. If the entire system was to be adopted the way it is, then they may not be able to guarantee the rights of women and girls. Yes, because they hold on to the practices I said are a bit outdated that needs to be discarded. So I want to embrace them, but we also hope that they will adopt to the changing times and the changes in our law. Yes.
That is beautiful. And in terms of the society, in terms of the public, embracing AJS, because I think for some time maybe we are used to maybe some people saying that when maybe they've seen someone being sentenced after maybe a particular offense that they committed, maybe someone else saying, at least at last I've found justice.
Okay.
How does it work like for this particular scenario?
I want us to know that not all cases will go to AJS, and people have to be willing to be subjected to AJS. And this AJS does not remove the penal code from its operations, because there are people who really do wrong, and all that can be called justice for the person offended is a prison term, is a fine, is a punishment, a good punishment for that offended person to feel that justice has been done.
Yes.
So not all cases and not all cases that come to court can be will be referred to AJS. Some can be referred if the parties are willing, and if it's a way that can resolve the matter. But if mko na mwizi sugu amekuja amevunja nyumba zenu, amekuja na bunduki, robbery with violence, yes. If you come and say you want to refer it to AJS, and that's what they do. They don't reform, and they will not reform. Maybe they are previous convicts or something like that. That one, let it go through the normal justice system, have the case heard, have him or them convicted, and let them be sent to jail. Jail is still there, prison is still there to help. Inaitwa kurekebisha na haki. Na huko, if they had no job, they didn't have any skills, they can go and be taught how to do masonry, how to knit, how to do things, which when they come out, they can use to earn a living instead of going back to crime. So and they'll have spent some time there, heard the word of God, seen people, and their freedom is limited, and after some time they learn to behave. And that the others will stay for life.
Okay. Yes. Maybe before Mangicho, as we finalize this, we look at the general issues of jurisdiction. The issue of is there a time when people subject themselves to AJS and maybe they thought it is going to help them to resolve their difference? It doesn't work. They refer it back to court. Or somebody who is subjected to AJS, but the agreement or the ruling at the AJS is not friendly to them, then they refer it back to court, or maybe they appeal to court. Does it happen?
Okay, it may not be necessarily appeal to court, because appeal is a process like to a higher court. So there are times when the discussions don't yield any fruit in AJS.
Yes. What would be the factors contributing to this?
Just lack of agreement, or just like you said, this person is saying this one should be punished severely for what they did to me, and they say we will not agree for it to be resolved this way, it will go back to court and it will follow the normal course, the procedure. There are procedures set under the Criminal Procedure Code, under the Civil Procedure Act for listening to cases until the end. So it will just slide back into the system. And remember, when it was going to AJS, it was already in court. The formal AJS that we recognize.
Okay. But is there compensation in AJS?
Compensation to the parties?
Like maybe especially for the victim or the complainant?
Let's say that somebody has referred a case to AJS for a problem. They had disagreement or damage to property, and it was referred to AJS. The amount that the person was claiming, maybe in a civil case, for damage to whatever they were claiming, they can agree that he will pay, informally.
Informally, yeah.
Then it is reduced now to a consent that judgment will be entered in the following terms. The defendant will pay 20,000 to the complainant within 20 days or 30 days, and then he will pay the costs of this case, because filing a case costs some money. You pay some money to file a case. You hire a lawyer to do paperwork to file in the court. You pay the lawyer. So costs will be paid by the person who is paying the damages. And then maybe they agree there will be no interest. Some good way of resolving it. So he'll be paid. It will be an order for payment, and he will be paid. He'll be compensated. If it was a criminal case and he stole sheep and they agreed he'll pay, then the matter will be withdrawn, or there will be conditions given and a follow-up to ensure he pays or he gives back the sheep, like that.
Okay. Maliki, I think as we continue, we are remaining with some minutes. Yes, but as we continue, I think we can give Honorable maybe seconds to guide our audience on how to handle this matter. I don't know whether you're remaining with anything.
Yeah, just to
look at the basics justice system.
I had one more point. Like, for example, in this particular case, what would be how do you determine the assurance that in as much as the two parties are actually resolving this particular matter amicably, especially now for the defense side, in terms of changing character so that maybe they don't still pose threat? Yes, because maybe on the other side they would be maybe in the prison, maybe they would be in the remand. In this particular case, how is it possible, or what are some of the factors that would really make the parties there to be guaranteed that yes, they have changed, and now they are actually even regretting what they've done?
Okay, normally without being even a party in the case, when people have been arrested and have been taken to maybe remand, they are cases pending hearing. Remand is not a very easy place. When they usually start the process themselves. For the informal one, they would call the complainant at home and say, I'm sorry for what I did. That one will be communicated in court when they come, and they have communicated to the prosecutor that they want to withdraw the case. So you can tell from the conversation you will have in court, because before the case is withdrawn, the complainant will stand on the dock and take oath. The complainant is the person who took the person to the police to report him. But now here he is or she is saying, I want to forgive him. Yes. Then he'll be asked by the prosecutor, what did he do? You say, he stole my chicken. Let's say he stole my chicken. And why are you forgiving him? Has he compensated? She says, no, he's my neighbor, and I've seen his children suffer, and I don't want him to continue staying in remand. I want him to come and take care of his children. Has he asked for forgiveness? And she'll say, yes, he called and asked me to forgive him. He will not repeat it, and he will come and pay back the chicken. And then the accused person is there. The prosecutor will have talked to them earlier maybe, and he'll say, I have no objection to the withdrawal of this case. The case belongs to the prosecution. That's something you need to know.
Oh.
Yes.
Once the case has been filed, it's no longer your case.
It's no longer your case. You are a state witness. if today I took your pen, do you thought I stole it? You go to Central and report me. And Central Police Station, the police there decide they will investigate the case. They take the case, and you will record a statement. Maybe Wangicho will record one, and they'll say, they saw me steal your pen. Once they are done, they will refer the case to the prosecution department, ODPP, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. They will look at the statements, they will look at everything they have written, the investigations, and they will say there is an offense here. I can see there is an offense and the person can be charged. And they charge me, they write a charge sheet, they bring it to Nakuru Law Courts, and I'm taken to court and nasomewa mashtaka kwamba siku fulani tarehe 19 Disemba mwendo wa saa 5 hapo MBCI studio uliiba kalamu ya mtangazaji. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Niseme ni kweli ama niseme si kweli? From that moment, that case is no longer yours. In fact, the file on top will have been written Republic of Kenya versus Daisy Mose. Yeah, so Republic ndio imechukua usukani kunistaki. So kama mtu anasikia kesi yuko nje, jua when you are charged, it is no longer the complainant who has control over the case. It is the state. And because the state is the one that is charged with the responsibility of taking care of people in the country and their property.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. When you wrong somebody, you have not wronged that person. You have wronged the state. So when they can see that you actually wronged this person, you spoke badly about them, you sent them a bad text, you insulted them, they take it upon themselves to punish, to prosecute you and eventually punish you for what you have done.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, and this is the Legal Tuesday, dear viewer, wherever you are, and today we are having Honorable Daisy Mose, who is a magistrate at Molo Law Courts, and today we are looking at alternative justice system, and I hope you have learned a lot through the alternative justice system. Today we are together with my colleague Mangicho Molo. I think, Honorable, as we continue the last bit of the program, we want to look at the basic, although you have just preempted my question, yes, but we can redo it again about the basic justice system. Maybe there's a viewer there who is watching us and is asking, has been asking himself or herself, for example, I'm aggrieved by someone, how do I file my case to court? Which is the basic way to do it?
Okay. It depends on the kind of grievance you have. So if it is a criminal, I don't know, I should explain what criminal means.
Yes, yes.
Criminal is where somebody deprives you of your rights as a person, or offends you in a way that you as a person, without feel offended.
Okay.
Or you are hurt in the body, or hurt in different ways. For your property, and your hurt. You can establish that kind of hurt, and that thing is in the law. It's written in the law, and maybe you cannot be able to tell as a civilian whether it has a punishment or no, but you just feel aggrieved.
Yes.
Umeumizwa mahali. You can start by going to the police station and reporting. Report, maybe someone stole your item, maybe someone beat you up, maybe someone trespassed into your land and is forcing you out, or has damaged your property. Whatever has been done to you, you can report it to
police station,
the nearest police station. go to the police station, find out a place called the report office, and go and explain. Tell the police I have come to report something, and you explain to them, and they will record it, and they listen to you, and they will tell you this is not a criminal case. Maybe you lent money to your neighbor and agreed that he'll pay you after 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks your neighbor has not paid. And you go to the police, they'll tell you that is a civil case. Yes, or you can now in that case you can start by formalizing your kama unakuwa unaulizanga yeye na kwa mdomo, asubuhi unatembea kumuuliza, you can do a letter first
to the person
and say, remember on this particular day you borrowed so much, we didn't write an agreement but you borrowed and you have been asking me to wait, can you give it back to me? The next step is they have not responded, then you can actually either find an advocate or you can just use your demand to go to court. You can get an advocate to write the demand letter, or you and which is good, get an advocate to do a demand.
Kabla uendelee, wakili, hapa kwa umefika police station, umeandikisha taarifa yako hapo. For example, kama ni criminal, polisi wanaichukua sasa wao wenyewe.
Sasa polisi wataichukua na watafanya uchunguzi. They will take it up. They usually take it up and they will do uchunguzi. Itasaidiana nao kama una mashahidi, uhakikishe umesaidia kupeleka ama kuhakikisha wamehojiwa na statement zao zimeandikwa. And then the next step is now they will take it to the DPP, like I said, for them to decide whether there is a case that can be taken to court or the evidence is enough to convict.
Who takes the DPP?
The police, the investigating officer.
But it does not mean necessarily that the prosecution will solely rely on the information from the police.
They will rely on the information from the police because you see every arm has its own duty. The duty of the police is to take the report and to investigate.
Yes.
And when they have done the investigations include finding out what exactly happened and recording your statements, taking any exhibit, anything they find. Maybe that person will be arrested with your TV if they broke into your house and stole your things. And so where they are found with the TV. That is a part of the things that they'll bring to court to show who was found with this which was stolen from your house. And in your house you have your receipts. The ones you used to buy the TV, the make, the model number which is on the back of your TV or something. So you will have given them to the police. And so when they are compiling the evidence, they finish compiling that report of theirs and they take it to the ODPP, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. That's the office mandated with prosecuting. What is prosecuting? Prosecuting is taking that case to court, charging that person and leading the witnesses in giving evidence.
And we've had a scenario whereby sometimes maybe the police want this particular defense maybe to still maybe to still be remanded or be put maybe still within the police or maybe still within the court presence maybe for some days because of maybe they think that maybe they'll tamper with the evidence. But sometimes you'll find that maybe the court, will not support that particular standard, that particular position maybe from the prosecution.
Okay. There are two instances when the police can ask to detain somebody within their police station, or they can ask the person to be detained at the remand. GK.
There are two types where you can be detained.
Yes, and two instances, different instances. The first one is when maybe they are doing an investigation and they have not completed the investigation within, the Constitution says if you arrest a person, you should be able to charge him within 24 hours. So before the 24 hours elapse, they have not completed the investigation. Maybe somebody was assaulted, they are admitted in hospital in critical condition, P3 has not been filled, because those are the documents that are supposed to come with an assault case. They are not ready. So they'll come to court to request for more time to hold this person, and they must justify the reason to hold them. And you ask that respondent if they're about the request to hold him until the investigations are complete. Sometimes when they complete the investigations, the evidence is not enough to charge this person. So they will come back to court and say, we didn't find any evidence to charge this person, we release him. And when there's enough evidence, by the time you've given them 5 or 3 days, they come back with a charge sheet that today we are charging this person. So they charge that person. That's the first. And even including interfering with witnesses, if it's a case of maybe a carjacking and there are a lot of other people in it and they are still going to arrest them, so they will ask to hold this person to enable them complete investigations. Underline that one. Complete investigations. And the reason why they want to hold him is because he will interfere with witnesses or interfere with the investigations. And if there is sufficient cause, he will be remanded there at the police station under care of the police as they complete the investigations. The other situation is something to do with bail and bond. That is when somebody has been charged. The Constitution in Article 49 guarantees that a person will be released on bond or bail. The reason for that is to enable that person continue earning a living for himself, taking care of his family, and building the nation. Building the nation. Because when he's put in remand, the government feeds him. And what will happen to his children?
Although there has been some argument that it is an avenue to escape justice.
No, it's not an avenue to escape justice. It's usually I will usually liken the bond or cash bail as a long rope or a long chain. You hold that person by it and you have this other end in court so that he makes sure he comes for the trial. So in square case you pull it. The person who is a surety for it will remind him, leo ni siku ya kesi enda kotini. And for the cash bail, to remind him his money is in court. Cash bail is usually refunded after the trial. A surety and whatever he
depending on how the trial will be?
Not depending. Regardless. If he's convicted, it will be refunded to the depositor, whether it is himself or someone else. Where if he's acquitted, it is refunded. If the case is withdrawn, it is refunded. Yes, cash bail is refundable. Bond is where somebody stands surety for the person and deposits a title deed, a logbook, or a pay slip in court. Or so when that logbook is deposited in court, regardless of how the case ends, that person's document will be released to him.
And sometimes the depositing of that particular bond might affect other people. The court does not care about that.
No, you see, when you have a logbook, in which way do you want to say it affects other people?
Like for example, maybe if it's a title deed that has been deposited, and maybe the family of the person, maybe they wanted to do something.
You see, the logbook is, or the title is in somebody's name, and a title deed, it shows that you are the registered owner. See, Wangicho, it is in your name, and it is your property. You. So if you have a family, but it is you who has brought it to court, and you have the search showing it is yours, and you just want to ensure this other person is out of remand so that he can do the case from home.
Are you denied to use the property when you deposit it to the court? Are you denied?
Of course, you are not denied to use the property. You can still live on it. You can plow it.
You can use your vehicle.
All you have brought is the registration document. Your vehicle, you will use your vehicle, you will use your motorbike. If it's your pay slip, you still go to work and earn a living. Nothing stops. But if that person absconds, when the person you have stood surety for absconds court, let's start with the pay slip. They will attach your salary to the amount that was supposed to be paid. The amount you secured, if it's 200,000, it will be paid from your pay. You be attached. If it is your title deed and the bond was 500,000 and your land is worth 500,000, if he disappears and you are not able to bring him, because that's what you have bound yourself to do, bond. You have bound yourself to avail this person in court. That shamba can be sold to reclaim that bond amount. You can also be jailed for 6 months for failing to avail that person to court, besides the land being sold. Anyway, but that's all to scare people from standing paying bond. Make sure that it's a person you know and somebody you can support. And then cash bail will be forfeited to the state, as money forfeited to the state if that person does not turn up in court. And if he comes again and the cash bail has been forfeited, he has to pay some more. You set other terms for him once he's arrested, because once that person misses, a warrant of arrest will be issued. So he'll be arrested anytime he's spotted. So what was I explaining? Now the prosecution in this case, I have gone into length to explain what bond and cash bail is. The prosecution can ask that that person be denied bond or cash bail because there are compelling reasons. What are compelling reasons? Compelling reasons are reasons that can compel you. That is just the way it is to deny. So one of them is that if that person is going to interfere with witnesses. If he's going to interfere with witnesses and there's nothing else you can do about the witnesses. Number two is if that person is a flight risk. He will disappear. The moment you release him, you will never find him again. He can go to another country, or he can...
Who will prove that in court? Who will prove that this person will disappear or maybe will abscond there?
The prosecutor will present reasons before the court. At that point, when you're about to say, the person is given bond of this much, before the prosecutor will say, I wish to apply that the person is not given cash bail or bond. And so these are the reasons. This person comes from Uganda, he's a non-fugitive, he's been hiding in Kenya, he committed this offense, and he has connections, he has people who can easily get him out of the country, and they were even looking for those people to charge them with another offense. So we ask that he be denied bail or bond, and that person will respond, or his advocate will respond and say. Yes,
I'm being told our time is far much gone, and this topic cannot end today.
We have to invite on Daisy again. Very resourceful. Thank you so much.
Yes, we want to thank you for coming to MBCI TV and giving us a heavy insight on the alternative justice system, and we wish you all the best in your performances.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Wow. It's been a pleasure having you, and thank you for availing yourself today. We look forward to having another interaction with you.
Thank you.
All right, you have been watching the Legal Tuesday on MBCI TV, and I believe you have been helped so much on this topic of today. On behalf of the Mid-Morning Park crew, my name is Paul Kagi. I wish you a blessed day ahead.
And of course, we'll meet again here, Kagi, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Leadership Wednesday.
Wrapping up 2023, looking forward to 2024. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us. My name is Mangicho Mola. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. See you.